Welcome everyone to our deep dive into a move that's sending shockwaves across the global tech and geopolitical landscapes. Iran's decision to ditch GPS in favor of China's BeiDou is nothing short of seismic.
Yep. So, let's get right into it. Iran's now fully activated BeiDou nationwide, severing its long-standing ties with America's GPS system, correct?
Exactly. It's like they've taken a major strategic pivot. They're leveraging BeiDou's military grade precision and robust anti jamming technology to gain full navigation autonomy.
That anti-jamming feature is a game changer, right? It not only boosts precision, but also thwarts potential jamming attacks that have been a long-standing vulnerability with GPS's weak signals.
Right, and that's critical. America's GPS, while having a storied Cold War background and having unlocked civilian use in 2000, suffers from fundamental limitations. Its signals are relatively weak, which makes them prone to jamming and spoofing.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting that this switch is occurring amid tensions, say in the context of conflicts like the one with Israel, and even with tech bans like on WhatsApp and Instagram over alleged location leaks?
Absolutely, and it's not just a minor tech upgrade, it's like a full scale realignment. Iran's move was driven partly by concerns over security and information control, especially when nearly 97% of internet traffic was going dark during high tension moments.
Right. Wow. A 97% blackout. That definitely underscores the vulnerability in relying on a system prone to external manipulation, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, we have to consider the economic ramifications. They put a figure on it too, like a potential $1.6 billion per day loss if GPS were to go down. That's a staggering number.
That really makes you think. So, by choosing BeiDou, Iran isn't just adopting a new navigation system, they're recalibrating their entire strategic tech posture.
Exactly, and what's remarkable is that BeiDou isn't just catching up, it's actually outpacing GPS in many aspects. For instance, BeiDou operates with 45 satellites and boasts 10 times more ground stations than GPS, ensuring around 1 meter civilian accuracy.
Absolutely. That level of accuracy, along with its anti-jamming encryption and two-way messaging, really positions BeiDou as a serious contender on the world stage, don't you agree?
Certainly, and it's like, well, think of it as moving from a well worn map to a cutting edge GPS navigation system that not only tells you where to go, but also consistently updates in real time, even amidst hostile conditions.
Yeah. That analogy really hits home. But I'm curious, how does BeiDou's global expansion factor into this switch?
Great point. BeiDou has expanded its global reach impressively. It's already operational in over 140 countries and serves more than 1.4 billion users. This global reach, combined with its tech merits, is challenging US GPS dominance.
True. So, we're looking at a rebalancing of power here. With the US responding slowly with its GPS 3 upgrades, it seems like the geopolitical narrative is shifting towards tech spheres splitting the world's infrastructure.
Exactly, and this split isn't just theoretical. For instance, BeiDou's capabilities mean that Iran's missiles and drones are now less susceptible to US GPS denial tactics, a real tactical advantage.
Yeah, I get that. But wouldn't you say that there's a risk here? I mean, aligning with a system like BeiDou might, in some views, increase dependence on Chinese infrastructure. There's a strategic trade-off involved.
That's a fair challenge. There's an inherent trade off. You gain anti jamming and precision benefits, but you also perhaps lean into China's broader sphere of influence, which could have its own geopolitical implications.
Right, exactly. And this digital realignment goes beyond military uses, doesn't it? For instance, the BeiDou system is transforming sectors like agriculture. I saw that in some reports, like a 15% boost in crop yields in Africa thanks to precision farming.
Yes, that's a fascinating crossover. Tech in agriculture. It shows how navigation tech can be a lever for development across different sectors. Plus, it's adding an entirely new dimension to how states secure their digital sovereignty.
With navigation sovereignty becoming so important, how do you see other nations reacting? Will we see more countries potentially jumping ship from GPS in favor of other systems like BeiDou?
There's definitely a possibility. Nations are increasingly eyeing independent sovereign GNSS capabilities, much like Iran did. It's not just about being anti US, but about gaining autonomy over critical
Exactly, that
infrastructure.
makes sense. I can see the ripple effects already. Not to mention, there are tech decouplings in other areas, like the US House banning WhatsApp on official devices due to data leak issues. It's like multiple tech ecosystems are pulling apart.
Absolutely. It's a domino effect across both tech and geopolitical domains. So, when we talk about a geopolitical earthquake, it's aptly described. This move can potentially redraw the world's digital map.
Indeed. And a notable consequence is Iran's newfound navigation autonomy. With BeiDou, they're no longer relying solely on US controlled signals, making their military operations, such as missile and drone deployments, far more resilient.
Precisely, and that tactical resilience might encourage more nations in volatile regions to consider similar moves. It's like they're saying, why depend on someone else's signals when you can have your own?
Yep, absolutely. This move sets an intriguing precedent. However, I do wonder if the US can catch up with its GPS-3 advancements quickly enough to maintain its traditional dominance.
That's the million-dollar question. The US response seems slow, and that gives companies like BeiDou the space to innovate further. It's a classic case of technological leapfrogging on a geopolitical stage.
It seems then that we're entering an era where control over the navigation signals might be as significant as, say, controlling airspace or trade routes.
Definitely. And it's like these aren't just abstract conversations anymore. They have real world consequences, from economic costs in billions to strategic military advantages.
Yep. Besides the military angle, there's also a broader message about digital sovereignty and the decentralization of global infrastructure. How transformative do you think this is for nations outside the US and China?
It's huge, honestly. For many countries, having a navigation system that's not beholden to US interests offers a kind of strategic insurance. BeiDou's global network, with its military and civilian applications, signals a shift into a multipolar tech world.
Right. Interesting. And while this might enhance stability for those nations, it also introduces new risks, like being caught in the crossfire of great power competition. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. There's always a trade-off. Aligning with a system like BeiDou can empower a nation with capabilities, but also tether it closer to a specific geopolitical bloc. So it's a balance, gaining autonomy versus potentially ceding some influence to another power.
True, I see that. And that balance is at the heart of modern digital warfare. The fact that navigation systems now play such a pivotal role, both in economic and military contexts, is quite fascinating.
It sure is. It reminds me of how technology evolves in unpredictable ways, almost like a game of chess where every move affects global strategies. Iran's adoption of BeiDou isn't just a local tech upgrade. It's a clear message that the future of navigation might be defined by multipolarity.
Exactly. And it opens up so many questions. Will other countries adopt similar strategies? What does this mean for the future of US technological hegemony? And how will the civilian side of navigation adapt as more systems come online?
Those are all crucial questions. We may be witnessing the beginning of a paradigm shift, where nation-states are carving out their own paths in the digital domain. Iran's shift to BeiDou is emblematic of that larger trend.
Yep, indeed. It's an exciting time to be watching the evolution of global tech and geopolitics. Thanks for unpacking this complex issue with me today.
Absolutely, it's been a fascinating ride, and the implications of this move will continue to resonate in the years ahead. Stay curious and keep questioning, everyone.